Welcome back to another KUT Productions video. I am KUT. So I'm going to be starting a new series. I'm just going to be going over some of my collection. I have a Source magazine collection. I don't have them all, but I have a decent amount of them. A little while ago I got my family to send some of my hip hop stuff out to me. And in there was a bunch of my Source magazines. I used to have a subscription back in the day. So I wanted to get those magazines and I got them. And so with this series I'm going to be taking a look inside some of my more classic Source magazines. Actually, I'm going to try to go through all of them. I have quite a bit, so it'll probably take a while. So, like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you can check this series out. It's going to be pretty dope. I'm going to put other videos in between too, but I'm definitely going to be covering these Source magazines. No, in any orders. I'm not going in order or nothing, so you'll see anything. This issue is from July 1996. It's the Source. It says the magazine of hip-hop, music, culture, and politics. And this was an exclusive. Dr. Dre leaves Death Row Records. Plus Digital Underground, De La Soul, .X, Sound Systems of the Star, Jim Jackson, and Phife Dawg. Phife is from Tribe Called Quest. You hip hop head, you know that already. Anyway, this was a big deal because Suge and Dre were together. You had Snoop Dogg. They were doing their thing, running it, but it started getting crazy at Death Row. And Dr. Dre said, "I'm out," and he bounced. So let's get inside the magazine right now. Alright, so here's the first cover. Source got huge, man. They started having all this magazine, this ad space. Here you have Karl Kani. Karl Kani was a fashion designer back in the day. I think he's still around. I think the brand's still alive. And here you have Nas is actually modeling for Karl Kani. That's Nas. And then a couple kids here, I don't know who they are, but there we go. A lot of ads were in this magazine. And so this is a double spread. So you got Nas again, modeling Karl Kani gear. Nas rocking a Rolex there, I believe. Karl Kani had kicks. This is 96, y'all, so you check the styles. And here we have, what project was this? Who came out? I'm going to try to go fast with this. I don't want to be too long on this. This is actually the Isley Brothers. An Isley Brothers ad right here. So they had an album coming out. There's the Isley Brothers. Here's some And One gear. And One was a big deal. And there was a Foot Locker ad. And now we're going to get into the magazine. I'm not going to cover everything. This is something for MTV. And here's that the table of contents. Dre right there. All right. So Planetary. Here we have some more ads. Pioneer. And then we have something called Planeta, I guess. Some kind of gear. Pioneer. St. Ides. This old malt liquor stuff. St. Ides ad right there. And here we have some more ad space. What is this? This is what? Abracadabra, a little gear spot. They always had these little ads in there where they would carry all kind of like equipment stuff, DJ equipment, drum machine, stuff like that. So there you have that right there. Here we go, some eyeglasses, Fila brand. My Coast is the best coast, but who cares? Yeah, this was also in the middle of the wars, man. This was the East Coast, West Coast stuff was going on, so it was a lot of talk. A lot of hip hop heads were definitely trying to squash it, but you know, it was getting out of hand. It was getting out of hand. There's Ice Cube throwing up the West Side. I don't know if you can see that. It's Cube. This is the article before this one had Cube on the cover. So here we go. Let's get into it. Nocturne. This is Helter Skelter. That's Helter Skelter. Upstairs Records. This is crazy, man. I remember these ads and this 4-track recorder actually had that one right there. We got $259. There's a sampler there I had. So you can go here, another gear spot, get your turntables and all that stuff. You can order it directly. More ads. Heather B. Taking Mine single came out. Wow, this is way back, man. Heather B ads. And this was always a cool page. The Source. This was like the heavy rotation page. So you had the best buys, which was De La Soul, Helter Skelter, various artists on the Nutty Professor soundtrack, Heather B, Taking Mine, and then various artists on this America's Dying Slowly. That was on Elektra Records. I guess that was like a compilation album. Then we had more heavy rotation. The Fugees was killing it at the time. Busta Rhymes, Lost Boys. Who else we got here? Rappin' Forte. Another various artists thing. What's that? Sunset Park soundtrack, another soundtrack, Original Gangsters soundtrack, Too Short album, getting it. Who's this here? Mac Mall, Tupac, All Eyes on Me, and the Ghetto Boys. So this was the heavy rotation at the time. So we're going to continue right on. Pele ad, more article news. higher education. See, the Source magazine was dope. It had like all these articles in there. They had real information they was bringing to you. Here we go. We got Rare Air, a Jordan ad, the 11s right there. They had all kind of articles with all kind of information in there. California Love article. So we had another Fila ad. Fila was buying a lot of ad space in here at this time. They were probably like the second or third one I saw. Here's something with Kevin Grant. He was another Fila. Yeah, Fila was definitely doing their thing. Here's something, a Keith Haring book that came out, I believe. If you don't know Keith Haring, he is an artist out of New York City during the graffiti era. 80s. He wrote 70s and 80s, I believe. And they covered graffiti, which I always liked. They always covered graph in there. So that was pretty dope. A DJ Honda project came out, the Far East joint. Yeah, DJ Honda's pretty dope. And as you can see right there, Nas was about to drop his second album. Look at that. And this is an ad for Nas Is Coming. That was in July 96. The second one, it was written, was on its way. And if I make any mistakes, please correct me, but I'm pretty sure about that right there. So here we just have some fat tape stuff. Hip Hop Quotable. Who got the Hip Hop Quotable? Black Thought from the Roots on section. They got the Hip Hop Quotable. Hip Hop Quotable was a section where they took best rhymes from whatever was out at the time, and you got this little slot right here. So Black Thought from the Roots, who is definitely a top, man, he's definitely a top 10, top 5 MC. Black Thought is no joke when it comes to that lyricism. So here we have some more songs here. Nas, he had Street Dreams out. Oh, it was already out. Street Dreams is out. So I guess that was a single that was out. East Coast, West Coast Killer, Dr. Dre with KRS-One and Nas is out. Helter Skelter. Well, Sean Price, Helter Skelter song was out. Respect Rude, Face Mob, De La Soul has something out. Cube and Mac 10. Ghostface and RZA, Who's the Champion. Yeah, it's a few other things on here. A couple other joints on there. Capone Noriega. Real Live. Yeah, so a few joints on there. So here we go. We're going to continue more articles. It's always a good read. I remember before I would take a flight somewhere, I always have a source with me. I would always have a source with me. Old times die hard. Look at that. There's a thing with Bill Cosby. It said the show was attached off the air of Bill Cosby. Yeah, so Bill Cosby. Way back in the day in here. He'd been around. So he has some more flavors, stuff that was out at the time. Message Power, some kind of messaging device. Look at that right there. Blade Bag, Shady Bit of Shades. The B96, stuff don't look too out of date. Varsity, this brand, I remember this brand coming around. I remember that brand. Look at this, Phoenix is actually covered in here. Phoenix, Operation Desert Calm. Yep, so here's a Phoenix issue, and they've always covered the hip-hop stuff, what was going on in different cities, so the Phoenix one. Then what we got here is more Affe, Smooth the Hustler and Trigger the Gambler. Oh yeah, I remember that. Smooth the Hustler and Trigger the Gambler. Doing a little ad. Sadat X from Brand Nubian. I don't know them. Who this? Get with your kinfolk. I don't know them. But there's Sadat X from Brand Nubian. Face Mob. Here's Real Live. Real Live is K-Def and Larry Yo. Doing their thing. Yeah, K-Def is a dope producer. He's still doing his thing right now. There's Heather B. Shout out to Jersey. There's Heather B. Why would it come down? I don't know if y'all can see some of these. J more ad space. Just gonna flow through ad space. Dr. J's, I remember this store. They carried this they had mountain gear in there, I guess. That was this brand that came out. I guess trying to compete with Timberland. It's this silver tour. Some kind of tour was going on. You see the biggest, loudest, fattest, dopest, deepest, wildest street jam ever. Yeah, so some kind of tour was going on. That was just like a source tour, I guess. Yeah, source tour. Cybernetic Royal Rospity. Who is this? What is this? The Bay Area. Step children of the funk crew, new Chapman, school hip hop. Pretty sure I know who this is. Is this Digital Underground here? Yeah, I don't know who that was. E40. He's Bay Area. Bay Area E40. Shout out to E40. South Pole. I remember these clothes man around. traffic jam. So here's some sound system stuff. They would always cover like hardware, different stuff for cars and stuff like that. This is actually celebrities' vehicles. So you got Jermaine Dupri, Chris Kelly from Criss Cross with his had 94 Benz S320, Magic Mike, president of Cheetah Records, now 92 Benz 500 SL. So just some in there car systems. So that's what this whole section was about. Here's De La Soul. So yeah, I think Stakes is High. 96, yeah, Stakes is High was coming out. So they got De La Soul. No brother Maceo. Past the news. Look at that. Reasonable Doubt in store July 25th. So Reasonable Doubt hadn't come out yet, or was it out? Featuring the gold single Dead Presidents. Yep, these, yeah, it had come out. So they were just doing another advertisement for Reasonable Doubt. Jay-Z. Speaking of that, it's a little thing going on with him and Dame Dash again. He apparently is keeping his foot on Dame Dash's neck. So it's pretty crazy right now with what they got going, or what he got going. Life After Death Row. So here's the main centerfold article with Dre on the cover. So it's talking about all the Death Row stuff, you know, hiding out at home. There's a question mark on there. So this is a good article. I remember reading this way back in the day. So it's just an article with Dre. Face Mob was doing their thing around this time. I don't know where they are, but they were doing their thing. Okay, The Natural, who is Australia, Louisiana. 20-year-old Chandra Rubin. She's on the women's tennis circuit. I wonder where she is now. So here we go. I think she was actually before Venus and Serena, unless they were probably kids or a lot younger. So yeah, it's good to look back at these. Pair of Shelter, Adidas, seeing what was going on back then. So now this is a dope section. This was the record report. So whenever an album would come out, you had this section here where they would review the album, and they used this mic system. It's only a few albums in history to ever get that 5 mic mark. Some albums came close. There were some 4.5s. I think Nas Illmatic was a 5, and maybe the Fugees, and maybe America's Most Wanted, Ice Cube, maybe. I know they were high. This actually got 4. This was De La Soul, Stakes is High, so that got 4 mics. So we're going to take a look what's going on inside here, see what else. They had 4. Helter Skelter got 3.5 for their album. Luther Campbell, Uncle Luke got 3. MC Bree got 3. So another ad space, Little Master P. That's Silk the Shocker. Master P, yeah, Master P was doing his thing around this time too. So here we got Wise Intelligence from what's the group? Poor Righteous Teachers. He got 3. Solo album. Then West Side Goon Squad got 2. Face Mob got 3. UGK. So they had an album coming out in store July 2nd. So they had an album coming. G Shorties, I don't know who they are, but they're in here and they got 2.5 mics. So 2.5 would be low on the scale. That wouldn't be, that really affected your sales, I believe. If you come up, with low behind, that's not a good look. But yeah, then you had alternative and soundtracks. So other music that was going on, Men of Vision, so whoever they were, various artists, Art of Dying Slowly. I saw this earlier, so I think there was a lot of artists on here. Looked like it was since the sudden loss of rapper Eazy-E to the AIDS, they said. So this is some kind of awareness project that came out. It was getting a lot of mention. I saw it earlier back there. SWV was dropping. Then here's another Lahane, so because that's a soundtrack, some kind of soundtrack that came out. So yeah, then you had, this is pretty much the end of the magazine where you had a lot of just more ad space. Actually, the singles, yeah, short shot singles. So you had Houdini, they put a project out, Keep Running Back. Shout out to the Artifacts, there's my homies right there, big Artifacts fan, Jersey boys, Elder Sensei and Tane One. Shout out to L, he was in town recently. The Roots had Clones, and then they had Section, but the B-side single had dropped. And Digital Underground, Oregano Flow. So you had Digital Underground, Tupac in a picture with him. He was already gone by then. So there you had that. Another ad space. Mr. Doctor, I don't know who that is. Brother Lin Chung. I do know Priority Records and Brother Lin Chung, so I guess this is that. In the box. So there you have it. And more singles that were out. If I Ruled the World by Nas, Getting It by Too Short, Hustler's Dream, which was, Hustler's Dream was Smooth the Hustler. Yeah, Hang 'em High, West Side X, Busta Rhymes, It's a Party, Luke had Scared, Stakes is High, De La Soul, Blase Blase, Had Pain, Helter Skelter, Operation Lockdown, Miami Lights, Razzcast. Yes, he's a Miami dude. I knew about that. Frankie Cutlass, You. Crossroads, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Yeah, this was back in the day. I'm starting to remember. Once Again, Tribe Called Quest, Clones, The Roots, and Ghetto Boys. Then you had, some more down here, more singles down here. You had The Roots on there, De La Soul, The Brat. OGC was on there, Original Gun Clappers. Digital Underground, Real Live, Above the Lost, .x, Rex and Effects, and Nas. It Was Written album. These are tentative release dates, so that's what that was. You got Frankie Cutlass here, Lady TNT. Yeah, this is just a bunch of ads. And I thought this was interesting. I remember seeing this. Fat Joe 560 had his clothing line. Fat Joe had his clothing line running at this time. He was in the back of the magazine. But yeah, so this is that. It's called the Fly Market. So this is just ad space they would sell. All kind of stuff. He had a hotlines. All kind of stuff is in here. So we'll continue. Yeah, just all kind of ads in the back of the sauce. Then you got to these photos where everybody was like the industry parties and the behind the scenes stuff that was going on. So, and there you have it, Warren G. That Wise Intelligence right there. Wyclef. You have more stuff. Coolio, everybody's mad young. It's Common, a young Common. Heather B, Keith Murray. The Ghetto Boys right there. Maybe it's the Ghetto Boys. Coolio. I don't know who that is right there, but they have the description up here, who's who. But yeah, so this is a Source magazine. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. So I'll bring some of these. I'll pull some of these out. Some interesting stuff. These were good magazines. You always got these illustrations at the end. You always had these illustrations at the end of the magazine. So Def, Jermaine Dupri, doing his thing. Had his label as a young man. So there you go. This is the first one of these. I'm going to start covering some Source magazines and show you all what's inside some of these old ones. Like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate it. Peace.